First of all, I'd like to apologize, Uguti. We could not do Ujudge today. It was beyond into esikwazi ukuzenza because we are having a problem with in-network, especially in KZN with storms lawa ahlaselile. There is a hailstorm, so a lot of my actors are from there, so they were not going to be able to connect, and we didn't want to give you an experience at better. Are you there yet? Can you hear me? What's happening? Can you see me? Irritates decide to better the network. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me, and I'm excited about today's show. And unfortunately, let me actually go on Facebook with my phone because I cannot connect to Facebook using the app that I always use to connect, unfortunately. So I'm gonna just go there and ask them to join us here because unfortunately we are not able to get them to join via the normal way, and we are having a problem with our connections. I don't know what is happening, and Facebook is very notorious for blocking izinto if bona bengazwani nento khuluma nayo. So please, if you are watching on Facebook, do come and join us on my YouTube channel, Thenjiwe Comedy. Please do come and join us. We are talking about an issue of customer service in South Africa and also with the embassies, South African embassies abroad. The customer service they give us, they take it straight from home and bring it here. So what I thought you were giving us South African service. Yeah, I almost did, Jem, especially with cancelling Judge. We were supposed to do Judge Thenjiwe Kambule live today, but then unfortunately we cannot do it because of internet is very bad because of the storm at KZN, and we don't want to do Ilokuzan. Zulmotos Mkwai, data is the same on YouTube and on Facebook. Do come to Facebook and do join us. Last night you guys missed out. If you were not with us last night, you really did miss out. We were talking about how we asked for the land. Uhulumeni wasipha iland esizoyifaka phe kweyifuba ufuna siyithwale ngeyifuba le land. He is not giving us land, but yeah, we do have a idea manje ukuthi where do you go. Sengina connection wabantu abagazelayo uma ufuna lamathuna, so please do come and join us. But guys, on a very serious note, we are talking about customer service, especially with South African embassies. If you live abroad, please come and share your experience. I'm gonna put a link here, and if you live in South Africa, please come and share your experience because these people need to know what they are doing wrong, because if we do not discuss these things, if we do not talk about these things, they will forever think that what they are doing is right. And Tina, especially as Isuzwe Simnyama, we are notorious for not complaining. We will never call the manager. You go home and complain. You go back to the car and complain to your family. So please do come and join us at Thenjiwe Comedy on YouTube. Let us talk about customer service, especially people who do live abroad. Please share your experiences because especially right now with this pandemic that's happening, we are losing friends and family members. So many people that I know who have not been able to travel back to South Africa just because of the lack of good customer service from our embassies aid. The website says something currently in London. The embassy, when you go to the website, it is saying that they are open from 9 to 5, except on Saturday and Sunday. You call, they never answer the phone. And then you go and you go to their office, they are there, and then they tell you, we're not working today. Hi, until further notice. So when can I come back? How am I supposed to know? Their attitude just stinks. Even when you go there, they ask you for things that are just not relevant. Even the rules that they work under, Wabona, they are just horrible rules that do not work for an African family, for a South African family. And even at home, you go to places, you go to home affairs, It's 9:30 in the morning, guys. Uthi ngingamlinda usisi Nonto. So hey, njobe yoluka amasingi nje angibona usazobuya namhlanje. Like, seriously. And if you do work in these places where you provide customer service, please come and defend yourself or come and tell us what is it that the customers did to you to make you have such an attitude. Come, guys, let's talk about this. I've got people who are stuck in Canada because of the lack of service from customer service. Yasema embassies in the United Kingdom, we only have embassy yodwa. So even if you live in Scotland, you have to drive or fly to London only to get there and find the website says it is open, but the people who are in there working there, but they are not working. Guys on Facebook, please do come and join us on YouTube. Unfortunately, the link is refusing to link to Facebook. I think Facebook is not happy with the topics that we discuss on this show. So please do come and join us on my YouTube channel. It's Thenjiwe Comedy. And come, let us share our experiences with customer service. Lapho bezoklinela abantu, even in the shops. In the shops, sometimes, like, I once got into one of the shops. I thought there's no way ubuso can be this expensive, just a face cloth for this much money. So I was like, excuse me, asking umuntu osebenza khona, is this the right price? You're the attitude I got. And I was like, no, Pela, at this price, guys, is it here to wash my sins? Why am I paying so much money? And you end up being angry now. You leave home in a good mood that I'm going to shop. You get there, you come back being angry. Like, we spend our money, and especially the government workers. You guys are working for us. You guys are working for us. So let us talk about these things. Guys, here is the link. Please do join me. Let us talk about these things. And guys on YouTube, on Facebook, please do come and join us on YouTube. It's Thenjiwe Comedy on YouTube. Do come and join us. Unfortunately, the stream is you refusing to do both YouTube and Facebook. So please do come and join us on YouTube. Let us talk about this. Let us talk about customer service in South Africa. Customer service, they are Western baby daddies. Let us come and talk about it. Thank you, guys. See you on YouTube. And we have our first guest is here. Our first guest is here, good friend of mine who lives in England. I hope he's gonna have something good to say about customer service. Looking now, ever had I just need to go ngiyogeza ngqume ngimgeze amanzi nahambayo because cha ngeke bakithi. Sawubona Mr. Mkhize Khabazela, unjani?
Siyaphila sisi, unjani wena?
Ngiyaphila kakhulu, and thank you so much for joining us. Ufuna ukukhonzela bani ekhaya?
Ngibakhonzela bonke because manje wonke, I know everyone is worried about what's going on. Abantu bayesaba bathukile, so let's just pray for them and pray for each other. Izinto zizoba right. Yeah, sis.
Yeah, so how long have you lived outside? Because with you in particular, I want to start with your customer service experience with the South African Embassy, because we use them a lot when we are abroad. How long have you lived outside South Africa?
It's been almost 13 years now living here in the UK, sister. So
okay,
I wish I can have something good or something better to say about them, but unfortunately, I'm giving them nothing. Nothing. Yeah, it's been, I think I've been there more than 3 times, but yeah, the last three times I went there to do like kids' birth certificates, passports, all that kind of stuff. It's never been well. You know, customer service is shocking.
What's their attitude like?
Oh, it's like they're operating like that's what they do exactly. So you feel like you are back home in home affairs back home. So comparing customer service in the UK, which is one of the best, to be honest. Every office that you go into, you get best customer service, and you'd be shocked to get to our own, who are expecting to be treated and get dignity or in the right way. It's just totally opposite. I'm sorry to say that, guys, but that's my experience. Because I know some of you work there, they might be watching right now, but I don't have anything good to say about them. Yeah, so in Kuluma, I think it was Thursday when my wife went there, to renew her passport, because she did check over the phone a couple of days ago or last week, and they said she can check on the website. The website said they'll be open as normal, like you said, from Monday to Friday, but apart from, yeah. So when she got there, she found out would be valid. Usekhona sis? Angazi noma ngisekhona ke, but yeah, I'm sorry guys. Customer service yethu yase embassy yethu is quite shocking. It's shocking. We waste money to go there, and then you don't get the help that you're expecting. I remember in 2012 when I went to apply for a birth certificate for my daughter. Okay, I got told to come back for 6 months. I gave them like 8 months. When I went back there, I got told something was missing before I qualified. But before I qualified, I check, I submit, and then missing boy after 8 months, I tell something wrong. Yo. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait here, sisters, until you come back here, because I don't know what's going on, but I know that we're live.
Yeah, I do apologize for that. I don't know what happened. I think they are giving us bad customer service now. We internet manje. Kize. Bazwile bayaskipha.
Yeah.
Bazwile bayaskipha manje bayabona ukuthi abantu bekhuluma ngathi. Guys, please don't forget, you can join us. Let us have this conversation. Please do join the conversation.
Yeah, to be honest, I would love ukuthi sithole umuntu wakhona usebenza lapha akasijoin ke sizwe ngempela ukuthi what's going on, because maybe khona iproblem esingayazi thina. Maybe khona isimo ababhekene naso esinzima esibaphuqayo ukuthi bahudule inyawo, yabo. Ngeke sivane sibaxeke nje, yabo. But if bengasichazela or basebenza ngaphansi kweprotocol ethize, asazi. Because yeah, it's shocking, it's appalling actually. I'm sorry to say, guys.
Is there anyone who does work for South Africa in any department who can come and explain to us why does this Pinky leave the office at 9:30? Why? And even when they answer a call, it's like they are talking to their friend. Or yeah. And you're like, yeah. Did I call the right number?
Yeah.
Did I call the right number? And for me, unfortunately, I've witnessed them. I don't know, Norma, it's only when when they are dealing with people of different races. How they can be nice. They can offer customer service. But when they are dealing with us, I shame. Things are not good. And if anyone knows or is listening who works in the South African embassy, please, guys, respect us. Please respect that we are here also to work and feed our families. To take a day off for someone, it's a lot of money they use. So to come there and just be giving an attitude and update your website, what's the point of even having a website if you are not going to update it?
Yes.
And this is very personal to me. A friend of mine actually yesterday or day before went to the embassy, having driven from a place that's like 2 or 3 hours away from London, goes there, which is very expensive. It's very expensive to travel here. Goes to London because the website is saying they are open from 8 to 5. By 7, she was already there and she was happy. I'm the first one in the queue. Aibo, time comes, they're supposed to open, they are not opening. Opens, knocks. No, Babantu, they are there. It's not like they are not there. They are there, they are inside. One comes to the door and says, we are not working until further notice. Until further notice.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you update? Why don't you update your website? And if you are here, why can't you help? Like, guys, people cannot travel to bury their families. A friend of mine recently lost her father. She missed a repatriation flight because of their attitude. A friend of mine, same thing with a friend of mine in Canada.
Oh, shame.
Because of their attitude. So please, guys, do not be afraid to share your comments. And if you do work for these people, or if you have received good customer service, please do come and join us and let us give them credit where it's due. Oh, Nelson Mhlongo, true, even here in America, they are rude. You have to kiss their ass. You always have to kiss their ass. It's like they're used to this bribery. We always have to bribe them, even for things that they are supposed to do. And when they apply for the job, do they have to go through training of bad customer service? Yeah. What do you think they should be doing? How can?
Yeah, sorry, sis. No, sisi mina bengithi I really doubt ukuthi labantu bayithola training customer service, because to me it's like nje kuthathwa nombani kuthiwa okay, come and fill the gap. Yabona? Because in anywhere we know ukuthi if you serve a customer, you have to have that skill of politeness, to be honest, and customer service skill ingafunda nombani at any time, provided you know how to cater for your people. But bona njengoba ngisho ukuthi we don't know whether they got i-agenda esingayazi, because they don't seem to be eager to do what they're here for. Yo, yasihlupha-ke le network today. Yasihlupha. Or i-embassy si-deploy ama-ECMs, who knows?
Hey, I'm so sorry, Shame. I feel like a very bad host that keeps on leaving you by yourself. I feel so bad. Please do forgive me. It's bad. Mac,
Okay.
I thought it was Zimbabwe embassy. So we are not alone. It looks like we are not alone. And for me, guys, I have a dual citizenship. Passport as a British, guys. So I have received a service from both of them. They are supposed to treat you with the highest respect and priority as a citizen. That is their duty. They are supposed to make sure Uguti you are catered for. Mina, British, with my British passport, I didn't even have to explain too many things. I was stuck in America during lockdown. I didn't have to produce any death certificates or start lying. I had not lost any family member. I just told them, I need to go back home. Lockdown happened when I was in America. They made sure I go home. South Africa, I know people who have not been able to go and bury their own children because of the attitude and lack of have you shared any because I've been coming in and going because of the internet? What has been your worst experience with them? Kumbuz. I don't know whether kubhede yami internet noma kubhede eyasikhumbuzo manje. I am quite confused. I am not sure. Angazi sikhumbuza noma kubhede yami i-internet noma kubhede yakho. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me, because I am not sure if it is my internet better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, yeah, sure.
It is horrible. It is horrible. It is quite bad.
Yeah, yo.
Yeah, so
It's really bad because even I can hear you, but you like break.
I don't know what's happening. I think they are just not happy what we are talking about them. They're like, hey, you think you can talk about us? We control even the internet. So what has been your worst experience with customer service in South Africa? Either here at the embassy or abroad, Ekai. And yes, guys, abroad is South Africa. South Africa is also abroad. Peshe, nani peshe, amesi peshe. So umuntu ukubuza nje umtshela ukuthi hayi nami ngihlala phesheya nase-South Africa phesheya. Uyangizwa Sikhu?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa sis, kodwa uyabreak, so uyabreak, but I can hear you just.
Okay, I'll type a message.
Yo, angazi kwenze njani, yazi.
I'm typing a message for you.
Okay.
Can you see it? I don't know what is happening, guys. Please do forgive me. I have no idea what is happening. But I am just happy that we didn't do judge because this was going to happen. I did know we were going to have problems with the internet today. But do share your experiences and Skumbuzo Mkhize. Please, Kabazela, do come back and join us. Yeah, please do come and join us. And guys, let us talk about Kambe. We can help each other. Kambe, we have people who work in customer service. They can also say what are the problems that they face with customers that make them behave in a way that we feel Tina is not acceptable. Kandibona, they like, Aibo, come and do my job for a day, and then you will realize it's not all that easy as you think. Yebo, School, you are back. Are you using internet? Yes, lokhuzeni. Yes, phone.
Ngisebenzisa Wi-Fi, yeah, yasendlini.
Try using a phone. Try disconnecting from Wi-Fi.
Okay, hey, but iyabheda, yazi. Phone iyabheda.
Yes, try disconnecting from Wi-Fi and using lokhuzani your 4G from the phone. Sometimes Nami Wi-Fi gives me a problem. Gitimina, try disconnecting from the Wi-Fi and using your phone internet. It usually works better than the Wi-Fi. Oh, this is such an interesting show. But Uskuya, he will just try and connect using phone internet rather than Wi-Fi because it's niginkinga kwayona Wi-Fi le ayinayo customer service. And thank you so guys for letting me know what you can hear me, and please do come and join us. This is our conversation. Come and join us. Sizwe ukuthi nina nithini. What has been your experience with customer service in South Africa? What can we do to improve it? Because when we come back from lockdown, we will be expecting better customer service. We need to improve. We need better customer service. For me, it's been mainly government places, government offices. I've received very bad customer service. And also with the Chinese shops, I've received the most horrible. If I haven't received it, I've witnessed it. Because sometimes it's not because it's happening to you personally, but when you see it happening to your people, it hurts. It breaks my heart. The Chinese malls, it's like nobody does checks and balances. And I take it back to people who do AMA checks in South Africa. There are people who are supposed to make sure they check which customers are treated well. There are people who are supposed to make sure the things we are sold are of good quality. Where is South African Bureau of Standards when we are being sold so much fake in South Africa? It comes back to customer service. They are not doing their job. They are not caring for us as the customer. Who allows for so many fake products to be in our shops? If you do work in a customer service role, please do come and join us. And I have worked also as a customer service, unfortunately not in South Africa. And yeah, please do come and join us. We've got Cindy here. Cindy, please do me a favor. I will kick you out. It sounds bad when I say I will kick you out. When you come back in using the same link, please allow your device to let the camera and the mic work with the stream. Otherwise, we won't be able to see you or hear you. Please just press yes when it says allow the camera and the mic. And then please do rejoin us. It's tea time, my lunch time, or I'm off duty. That's their line. It's yay. They can open at 8, 10 past 8, it's tea time. 8:30, it's my lunch time. Sometimes they'll tell you hey, or like you will queue up and manje uba nokutshela ukuthi joyina lo line. And then nemlomo yakhona ngasibasho weyitroke. Yeah ayenziwa la leyo nto. Also sisi ngingayithola lapho usizo. Ngazi ngani mina mubuka isiphongo sami sibhala information board. Oh, and unfortunately, I will make a lot of references to the females because they seem to be worse. We've got Unoni joining us. Hopefully, she is coming with some good news about customer service that she has received. Hello and welcome.
Hi, T. I'm your neighbor from Durban.
Hello, Maki. How are you doing?
I'm fine, and you, Maki?
I am good. Thank you so much for joining us.
I've experienced a very bad treatment from Home Affairs in South Africa. My son was born in Ireland, Dublin. Then I came to South Africa to register him. And then it...
whoever is playing radio,
oh, sorry, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, it's off now.
Thank you so much.
Okay, my son was born in Ireland, in Dublin, and I'm a South African. When I came back home, he had to be registered. Then it took me more than 6 months for him to be registered. And then when I went back, always checking, I'm in Gauteng, so I was using like Albertine offices. And then one of our natives told me to restart the registration. Fortunately, the boss was around and told me this was done long ago. It just needed to be printed. And I was saved. Because I had to re-register him again, reapply. And the thing was just sitting on the system to be printed. So I was safe because of the person who's not of our native, a different culture. So when we go to our works, we're not prepared to work We just got there for tea times and lunch break and home time. That's the thing about South Africans. Fortunately, I've been exposed to other countries. I've worked there. Other nations are prepared to work, but we are not prepared to work in South Africa.
The attitude
That's a problem.
stops, it stings, and it doesn't do
The
us.
attitude. Once you live abroad, when you come home, you know exactly what's happening. You don't comfortable in your own country. You're comfortable in the other countries.
And I find that sometimes the requirements are just ridiculous. I remember I went to print out my grandmother's death certificate at Home Affairs, and they wanted, how we gonna know? We need the person that the certificate belongs to. Like, how am I gonna bring a dead person to come and give you proof the certificate?
They're always pro in getting something like corruption. Meanwhile, they are corrupt inside there. When you come to your right story, they think you're like here there to do some fraud. Meanwhile, you're coming there with the genuine stories.
Hey, it's crazy. Cindy ZB.
Okay, thanks. Cheers.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate you. And let us hope they will listen to this and they will change their attitude. Maybe there is someone who works there who can come and explain to us what is happening. Because what worries me more is now we are going through a pandemic. People are locked down. People have even in countries because they're not getting help. They've found themselves saying people can't go home. I've got a friend who's lost her father. She can't go home. She will miss the repatriation flights because they are closed. They will open when they open. But they are there.
Yeah.
But they are there, but they're not working until further notice.
Yeah, the problem is like people are not prepared to do some work. They just want to go to the office, knock 8 to 4 and home time.
Hey, it's crazy. Let us hear what Cindy has to say.
Okay, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Sandra Sam. Have a blessed weekend.
Okay, cheers, Maki.
Thank you. Cindy Siwe.
Hi, Thenji. How are you?
How are you, my darling? Do you know what Kambula is named after you?
Of course. I'm so honored, eh? I'm so honored. I'm forever honored about that. Good to be here. Thank you so much for sending the link for us to join. This is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. It's so nice to have you. Let us hear Utini. What's your experience with these people?
Hi, Thenjiwe Wangfaka on the spot. Pela, I logged in because I saw the link and I'm like, I'm going to hear about the topic once I join. So what are we talking about?
We are talking about customer service in South Africa.
Oh, don't get me started. Yeah, guys, I've had my experiences with the customer service Yasekaya, and it's been one of a kind. I think personally, I think we've always said it over the years that I think we have to get over this notion of the color of our skin determines the type of service that you get, especially when it comes to South Africa. You know, in many instances, because I live outside of the country, I travel home a lot, and I've experienced it from the time I'm even getting on the plane here in New York or wherever in England, that the customer service is so different from the air hostesses in comparison to Mina, because in a skin esimnyama and automatically bayazi I'm probably one of them. But the service would be different to umuntu, you know, umlungu, or someone who looks like they're from a different place. And you experience the same even Malfige Airport. And then once you're inside the country, I've experienced it so many times, even in restaurants, in so many places. One particular example that for me has always stood out. I took my husband is not South African. He's French Canadian, born in Jamaica. And I took him home for the first time to meet the parents and so forth. And he had a very horrible experience because when we go to Joburg, we had an issue with our bags, and we kept going back to the airport a couple of times. And the way he was being treated, number one, because umuntomnyama, they automatically thought ukulumis Sizulu or wabua or ukulumis Xhosa and so forth. And then when he couldn't do that, it seemed like, okay, why is he behaving that way? And we went to the airport a couple of times, and it ends up being in Jabagnagi because, it's for them, number one, umuntu nje babehave ngathi abafuna ukwenza loyo msebenzi, and you're thinking, but this is your job. If I have a query, I need assistance, we customer service, you're the front face of this organization, of this company. Ultimately, Maulap, we are representing SAA, it's a government entity, a state-owned entity. People take away that and say South Africans are like this because baqala lapha airport. And for 7 days, we had a very horrible experience with people at the airport, to the point we ended up being helped by a white South African, because our experience was also whenever we went to the desk, they didn't seem like they wanted to help. And worse, if I started speaking in isiZulu, and then it just changed the whole thing, because why when we jela, why should I be helping you, and so forth. The simplest thing of which we're missing a bag, can you just check for our bag? They never seemed like they had interest in doing that until a white South African took upon themselves to say, we have to find this bag. Labantu, they're visiting South Africa and they don't have impahla zabo. And then once that white South African started taking the initiative, and then things started changing. And we've seen it also when we go to restaurants. It's like, priority is given to that other person who is quote unquote umhlophe. And
I've seen that in restaurants, especially in Cape Town.
Yes.
They will stop serving you, literally.
Totally. I experienced that. There was a waiter who was serving our table when I went to Table Mountain. There's a restaurant at Table Mountain, and then a white couple came. He literally left our table and went to serve the white person and actually welcomed them. Good afternoon, take a seat, what can I get you? And he told me, Uguti, Uzobuya, I'm coming back to you, Sisi. And all of a sudden, it's like, Sisi abangane manje, we know each other. I'm going to come back to you, sister. And I'm like, but, the service, I think we need to really improve on that as abantu abamnyama bensundu in South Africa, because it really, it shows how it makes us look very uneducated. And we're people who have so much hospitality. People love going to South Africa because of the hospitality that we show and the love that we have. Sinobuntu, but when it comes to each other, we very much fail on that. So unfortunately, for me now, when I go home, it's almost like mentally, whenever I get on that plane, if I'm traveling with South African Airways, straight from there, mentally, I have to start adjusting my mindset when it comes to the customer service that I'm going to get for the entire time when I'm at home, which is very ridiculous, I find.
Hello, Dolly, and welcome. Let us hear your experience. Hlambe, you have some good stories to share. Hlambe, you do work in customer service. Welcome, and let us hear your thoughts about customer service in South Africa. How Nkosi yami, yabona ukuthi even internet yethu nje, I think isebezwile, even Facebook is refusing for us to go live there with the show. I think they do not like the show anymore, but it's khuluma kakhulu. There have been Onangu Dolly Ebuya. There have just been so many instances, guys, of things where you're like, no, this is not supposed to be happening. This is not. And there is a good comment here from Utandi Maringa, who is saying also, when you go to public clinic for healthcare, you will die on the bench. Basadla magwinya ne acha no kleba. Let's hear Udolutin, and then we will address the attitude in clinics and hospitals. Hello, Dolly. Dolly, your internet is never bad. What's happening today? Dolly? Hello? I do not know what's happening, guys. Yo. Uthi utapsile mhlana at Sivagwina. It happened to me in Madeira because I refused to pay those coping guys outside. But Sebenza Bongi, apparently you pay them, then they walk your documents in. What kind of rubbish is that? Usive looks like usebenza kwi-customer service. Uthi sorry sister Cindy, uyasho na kuneli ukuthi Neliswa, it's not everyone, it's not all people. So Sive, if you do work there, please do come and defend your colleagues and let us know, because obviously it's not everyone who does such, but there are too few. Too many are doing it wrong. Too many have an attitude, even in management. And so many of them, it's like they miss the training or they sleep during training. But okay, what can we say? Because so many of them are not informed about their jobs, about what they are supposed to do. What can you tell them, Cindy? What do you think they need to know, especially with their roles in customer service?
I think people need to realize with customer service, you're really the representation of that company, you know, because if for me now, like I said, my whole experience, even now with SAA 11, 12 years ago, up to now, my husband always says he never wants to travel SAA again, but it doesn't mean everyone in SAA is like that. So I think, you know, I know for most people, things are tough at Kaya, and they end up taking some of these jobs because it's a means to an end and it helps to put food on the table. Not necessarily that these jobs are a calling or a purpose for them. They take them because it's going to, you know, butter their bread and so forth. But as you said, they need to be informed. They need to be educated. I think maybe companies need to give people training. They need to acclimatize to that. We are a global, you know, we're global citizens, and they're not just only going to serve South Africans alone or white South Africans or whatever. They're going to serve, they're serving ultimately the global community. So regardless of whether I speak isiZulu, Nawe, Ndebele, Xhosa, or whatever, it should be the same to a person coming from Germany or France. Clearly that you can tell is not South African. But I think people really need to find a passion for some of these jobs that they get into. I know sometimes circumstances force them to take some jobs because they have to have a job, but it's the attitude. So I think if maybe companies invest in a lot of human resources training to help people, you know, with handling even maybe the pressure. Sometimes it's the pressure. Like especially with airports, they overwork and so forth. So the attitude ends up being, and I mean, I'm gonna point this out. I know people are not gonna like it, but at the end of the day, we also have an issue of racism and xenophobia in South Africa. So sometimes when it comes to customer service, it ends up being, it's an issue of that. So you know, so the service that you end up getting, be it or you are just another South African like they are, plays a huge part in the customer service. So I really hope it changes with time.
Yeah, and I have witnessed that at the airport, when you travel, you could be traveling from a doctor with a doctor from Zimbabwe or Nigeria, and a white guy from overseas. They will never ask any questions. But the one who comes from another African country, the questions are too many.
Yeah,
they are suspected, they are guilty and have to prove themselves innocent, and the other race is innocent until someone else comes and proves them guilty.
Well, you experienced that with me the last time I was in South Africa when you took me to the airport. I'm sure you remember that. Even as I was carrying my Canadian passport, you know, my fellow South African started asking me so many questions about when I came into the country, what was I doing in the country, and so forth. And then a white Mlungu couple came, and it was, "Good evening, sir, welcome, can we have your passport?" Going to the lane. And you even said it when I said Thenjiwe to the guy, and you were like, "But why are you asking her all these other questions?" And on top of that, she's carrying a Canadian passport, clearly. So that's where you can tell that there has to be some training that has to go into, you know, some of these places and the people that do these jobs. Also, Dolly is back. Let me not take her stage.
I mean, I see a lot of self-hate as well. Dolly, can you hear us now? Dolly? I don't know what's happening with you, Dolly. Dolly. When you go, Dolly. I don't know what is happening with you, Dolly. Gavin Matebetsi Uti, Sisindi ZB, I agree with fatigue can also be a factor in poor customer service. But there's also a lot of self-hate. Because how you treat me as a Black woman is a reflection on how you feel about yourself. If you treat me as a lesser person than someone of another gender or someone of another race, that's exactly a reflection on yourself. If you think I'm not worthy of good customer service, that's a reflection on yourself. If we get into restaurants, like literally in the middle of taking an order, they will drop you and go and spend an hour helping someone out. Sometimes, so many times I've had to walk out, and if they make a mistake, they're supposed to
Hi,
just say so. Hi, Dolly.
guys.
How are you? Yes, Dolly.
Am I?
You are breaking. I'm not sure if you're just breaking to me, Pella. Please, guys, do say in the comments if you can hear Udoli clearly. Cindy, can you hear Udoli?
No, she's breaking, and her video looks like it's frozen.
Then
Maybe she has to reload.
Please reload, Dolly, and rejoin us. Let us see if we can try again, because right now it is frozen. Yeah. Yeah, she's coming back. Uzos rejoina. I really am looking forward to hearing ukuthi Dolly uthini. Yay. Uthi Gavin Cindy, I agree with you again. Had a guy at airport consistently asking me for boarding pass, but other white passengers weren't even asked. How are you, Dolly?
Hi, everybody.
Yay, thank you. Now we can see you and hear you properly. Ayiboyenza le internet, guys.
It's like she's frozen.
Oh, Nkosiyami, she is frozen. I don't know what's happening. Nangu Zamo, Utu Zamo Missy, they are really bad. Come and join us, Zamo. Why are you hiding? They are really bad affairs, but I had rather a very good experience at Home Affairs Pretoria North Utu to them. And the Pretoria North is the one I go to. Yamabunu, the customer service is a lot better than any other one. You are there within 20 minutes, you are done.
Yeah. And I think, and when it comes to government services, now I'm going to speak on it from a professional side. When it comes to government services, we've had a lot of complaints as well, even from places like SAPS, when people have to go and report cases of whatever, whether, but my family went through Gagezela some time ago, and the customer service was really horrible because somebody broke into a kaya, and they told them and my sister wanted them to come and at least come and see what happened and get fingerprints and things like that. It took them 7 days to come and get fingerprints, and you're thinking at that time, you live in that house, so clearly what evidence are you going to get? And they were told, Guba, the presiding officer that came whenever the crime was committed, they got off. And so at that time, like, nobody really cared, because at this point it's like, say, look, Shini, these things happen and people break in and so forth. But even the care and concern, or our concern, was that the young girls who live in this house, so it could be a perpetrator who would come and really harm them, and and stuff like that. So hold on, I'm coming. Sorry, my daughter. And so for us, it's not just only customer service that happens with people working in retail or at the airports or whatever, but it's also our government services. That's a big worry. So what then do we say? What do we do? Where do we begin to say Lento needs to be fixed? Because it starts from the very top. If a place like SAPS has such a problem where they are not really serving us the way they're supposed to serve us, if it takes them 7 days to come and look at a break-in, or if let's say, God forbid, it's an abuse situation that's being reported, or sometimes they take these things lightly, or they even further on that abuse themselves by judging you for coming forward to report cases. So it's like it's a culture that I think in our country people have been very comfortable with and they've accepted for a long time, and that culture needs to change, you know, because we often say, "Ay, niyabazi vele," you know, this is what they do, bazohlala lapho and not do anything. You know, we've all experienced these situations where even in our embassies we need things done, and the customer service is just on a level where you think, "Evan, I need embassy service, consular services right now." Something that could take maybe 24 hours to get fixed will take them a week, simply because to them, ayikho rush in getting anything done, or it's just, I don't know.
And you are annoying them. When
Yes.
you go there for service, you are annoying them. And let us take it back to Amapoisa, the SAPS. I think also it goes back to the things that are in place in terms of education in our country. We have 11 official languages, but we only work in one language, which is English.
Yes.
And that becomes a problem, because Ipoisa, who did English as a second language, suddenly finds themselves having to work with English as a first language. They are not happy to write statements, and that's the fight they have a lot with lawyers, because they do not speak good English. They do not have to. We have 11 official languages. They should be allowed to write statements in their language. Sometimes you read a statement, a city, and then he hit me here, and then he did this here. Because as a person who's a victim, you are going, you're telling police, wasengiklinya la, wasengibamba la. Angithi wena uyatshengisa iphoyisa mhlawumbe selikhohle ukuthi yini uqhoqhoqho ngesingisi uzobhala, then he touched me here. So a lot of cases don't even make it to court because of a problem statement.
Absolutely.
Tata is statement is correct.
Yes, absolutely. I work in nonprofit, and there's a lot of organizations that you know, I deal with that deal a lot with these gender-based violence situations. I've heard the same explanation, or show your Matenji, that they've gone to report these cases at the police station, but because these dockets have to be written in English, and when they go to court it's English and so forth, they're often not written because employees are only lent, you know, to write in isiZulu or Xhosa or whatever. So often these cases go, but dockets, they just remain empty. And so which means that case ultimately is just done. Nothing else is going to be done with it. And then the next thing you hear, even the perpetrator uzile wakwaza to be, you know, to be let out, or the next thing, God forbid, the muntu who was abused is found dead or something like that. So there really has to be a change of even language in the workplace, or how the training that, you know, these front face people need, you know, to be trained.
That's why that people they don't come take statements, because by Saba and now working with these Model C kids who laugh at how they pronounce words, for that presiding officer to go and take a statement after 7 days, because even if they did want to help you, in our country we use English as a measure of intelligence, which is absolutely wrong, which is why also people who speak English a certain way tend to get better customer service. Sis Noni, uthini lapha?
Hi, I'm back. A problem ayikho international only, even a local. Like now, mina from KZN, ngihlala eGauteng. If you travel to KZN, you're from a different country. Also belong a KZN, then you'll be treated different as if you're better, or because now Gauteng is treated as a better place in South Africa because of the opportunity. So there's a problem with our mentality in this country. It's not only with government department. It's like, I think that's how we were brought up.
It
like
is
different provinces and whatever. So it's a local thing, even among ourselves. Like you know, when you go to where you were born, Gwamashu, people they don't think they are a Gwamashu girl anymore. They think like Thenjiwe, we are Chela. But you're not telling yourself anything. Is that you? That's who you are now.
And also, I have to add, Uguti, you are so correct, because I've also been in situations where I have received outstanding customer service, but I have found myself super annoyed because I'm like, why am I the only one getting this good customer service? and oh, why am I getting it? Like there are 10 of us. These 9 people were standing here before. Why are you calling Thenjiwe who's number 10? Just because you know Thenjiwe or you follow Thenjiwe doesn't mean you have to call me. Sometimes that annoys me, to see you wanting to treat me better than the other people. Treat us all correctly. Treat us all right. Nobody needs to be treated better just because we are Mazi.
The status thing.
Yeah,
it does work, because I remember the last time I took my son like to open a bank account. So there's this line, country of birth. They assume South African. The moment they saw Ireland, the eyebrows were raised because of the thing. Then now you're different from other people.
Wow.
Wow. It is just so. Dolly is finally here with us. Let us hear Utinu Dolly. We've been trying to connect with her. I hope all right, Manj. Dolly, please unmute your mic. I don't know what's happening with the internet here, Dolly Namklanj. Uti, I'm sorry, guys. I thought I could join you, but the universe had other plans. I'll accept that. Oh, Dolly, please do. There you are. I can see you moving. Please try. Unmute your mic and let us hear what you have to say. It looks like the internet, the universe has really has other plans. Dolly? Okay, it looks like let us continue and hear Udoli. So let us speak in particular, because I'm more concerned about what's happening now in the world to our people who suddenly find themselves having to get on AMA repatriation flights. I know people who have missed AMA repatriation flights before e-service. What can we say can be done to at least help those people in an emergency? Your Udoli loser. Cindy, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you still hear me?
That said, Udoli couldn't join.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, yes, in Lento Yama repatriation is a very tough one. It's very sensitive, and it's I'm not sure exactly, what the issues are when it comes to the government and ensuring that people get the services. It's one of those things where we always laugh about it and joke about it, but when we talk of Americans or people from England with their red passports, and we always joke and say, the British will come for you. If it takes them an hour, they're going to get you out in an hour. And I have some people that I know who have been stuck in other countries, and they've been trying to get home. They've had horrible experiences with even getting in touch with the consular offices wherever they are stuck at, to try and get them to go home. And again, it goes back to the customer service, because they've been told that Thenjiwe pitoli. So we're repatriating you. This is a life and death situation. When a country is saying they're repatriating you, it shouldn't take them more than 48 hours to get your information confirmed, Duguba or citizen, and get you home safely, because it's a state of emergency. This pandemic is a global emergency at this point. And I've listened, and I worry about the state of our leaders who are leading these ministries that are responsible for repatriations, because what we are hearing from being out here in the diaspora is our consular offices are telling us, Uguba, the directive is coming from South Africa. It's coming from Epitoli. So for them, their hands are tied. As much as they would want to help us, for those that need to get home, they can only do so much. So you submit your information. The information Nakona
is not an easy thing.
Yes, it's not an easy thing. And Bona, they have to wait on folks on the ground to give them their information to confirm Uguba, you are indeed a citizen. But then what happens if somebody I know people who've booked flights, those repatriation flights, have booked the flight telling themselves and go home. But then on the other end, because of the service that is lacking, the communication breakdown from Ekaya, from Home Affairs, the people. It's like there are so many, it looks like there are so many streams to getting these repatriation things done, and there's a breakdown in communication and customer service from level from the leaders all the way down to the consular offices that are representing South Africans. So it's very, very sad what is happening, because people are really stuck. They want to go home. Unfortunately, some are losing family members to the virus, and abakwazi uhamba, So angazi is known if maybe when you've experienced or heard of anyone who's.
Yeah, I do have a friend who just a pensioner who pensioned recently in Australia. Now, because of the pandemic thing, she cannot get a flight home unless they get this free the flight that will drop someone in Australia. Will be able to pick her back home. But now, unfortunately, there's nothing. She's stuck there until everything is open. She'll come back home.
Which is, it's a shame, because my question is, why do we have passports that are given by e-government that are biometric passports if they still need to be sent back home to be confirmed if they are the ones before you can travel? Why do we have immigration?
Yeah, because you registered in South African, they know you.
Immigration should be able to check.
Yeah, it's tough.
This is the right.
Even like we like in South Africa, for me to go and bury someone in KZN, I must get a permit. I cannot just drive to KZN.
Yes.
I cannot just fly to KZN.
But that one is easy. Physics. They think it's a permit because it's confusing.
They'll just think
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's tough times. I always say thank God, because I lived for 6 years. Nothing like this happened. I was going to go crazy because I used to fly to South Africa often, like every 3-4 months.
Wow.
And now this thing happened. I was going to go mad. It's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah, I feel sorry for those people, because I know if you want to come home, you want to come home.
Yeah. There has been 3 repatriations flights from Australia, so it makes no sense she has not caught one.
No, because now you have to arrange.
You have to arrange
just go
passport so that before they can approve South Africa. It's
not an easy thing. You cannot just go to the flight and fly home.
Yeah, and I mean the where it contradicts everything is when they have to confirm your citizenship. At least that's what I know. One of my friends has gone through the process. Namanje, it's not even a lie. It's been over a month. Ulindele ukuthi bamconfirm, but she contacted. She followed the rules, followed the exact protocol she was given. You send us this, you send us that, you send us your ID number, send us your passport number. They say, these are the flights that are available. So she could have easily bought a ticket, but then the other thing is you cannot leave the country without having a special letter that the consular office has to give you that permits you to get on that flight. But that letter is given upon South Africa confirming that you are indeed umuntu wabo. So if you don't have that, you're going to be stuck. You're not going anywhere. And it's not like the consular offices are, for those that maybe were touring or things like that, they're not supporting you in any way or whatsoever. So it becomes quite a very difficult situation to find yourself in. So angazi at this point, I really hope the situation in this pandemic is really going to teach the government and show the loopholes where things need to be changed moving forward, because this is not only going to be the only global pandemic that's going to happen. Other things are going to happen. So maybe these are lessons for everyone, for our leaders, particularly in how these things might be done, because I'm sure Nabona, it came as a shock, as in how do we handle such, because it's never happened this way. But I find it to be quite saddening that somebody can wait. Manje, I know, my friend, there's no communication that's coming from the consular office anymore, because it seems like Nabo, they haven't received that confirmation that she is indeed a South African from Pretoria. So as somebody waiting, what do? You cannot blame the consular office, because Nabo, they're depending on somebody in Pretoria pressing an email and saying, I'm confirming ukuthi uSinje is a South African, her ID number is this and this, she can get on that flight and come home.
Uthandi Maringa
But
has
they
a
have your fingerprints.
yeah.
But they
And
have a fingerprint, yes.
But it says a lot about themselves. Ukuthi they cannot trust their own passports. Uthandi Maringa. But why does it have to be like this, where the majority customers are blacks? Like in Gauteng, Johannesburg, Home Affairs office in Wynberg sent in, the majority are white, hence quick and great service. Why do you think we have the worst customer service in areas where the majority of the customers are black?
I think it's way we were brought up that the other races are better than us.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
So it's not going to change. I think forever. Maybe our kids then will change. Not with us.
Yeah, but we need to start working towards changing. We need to start working towards changing these attitudes. And if you do work in customer service, please and a lesson, let us improve, because it's a reflection of the country. It is a reflection of the country yethu. Don't take it, because the problem we have in South Africa, people take things as personal attacks. They always think you are personally attacking them. It is not. It is a general conversation. We deserve exceptional customer service, but we are not even getting the basic. We don't even get the basic. And the number 2 question that I want to ask you ladies before, why do you think black people will never grumble at customer service? We go home and complain, but never complain to the people that are giving us.
What did you ask?
What's the question, Thenjiwe?
Why do you think as black people we never ever complain? We don't grumble at bad customer service. We just accept things and go home and complain to our friends and come to these platforms and complain. But we are not, or we don't write letters of complaint. We just accept it. Why do you think we do that as black customers?
There's a simple thing, Thenjiwe. Like I know I've seen government clinics now. They'll have the cell phone number or the number that if you were not treated well, take this number and ring whoever. And then, are you okay, Te? Hello?
I'm good. I'm fine.
Hello?
I'm here. I'm
Okay.
back.
There's a if you go to like government clinics, like you go to the clinics for where people they check for BPs and whatever, there will be a number. If you're not happy with the service, take this number and call. And then every time my mom will go there to collect her medication, she'll come back and complain. I said, but mom, there is a number there. Take that number, ring that number. They'll be able to help. That number is there for a purpose. But they don't do that. They'll be there up to 4 without getting any treatment. And they'll go home and they'll give them the day to come back again. So if our parents, that's what they taught us. So I think it instilled to us. And then I think our kids will be better. They'll be able to complain. I think we can talk now because we're open. I think traveling among us ladies, like now on the platform, we've all traveled. If you travel, then it opens your mind. But if you're local, you'll be living the life that we were brought up living. Because traveling opens your mind, then you'll understand how life is outside of South Africa. You'll be suffering, you'll learn to adjust and survive. But once you're around, you know that a white person is always your boss. We are brought up like that.
It's so unfortunate.
Like when I was in Ireland, like white people, I used to go with them to the pub. share the table with them, enjoy everything with them. So for me, life was normal. Come to South Africa, it won't be like that. Then those people are still you worship them when you're in South Africa. But for me, it's changed. It's not like that anymore.
It's true. Cindy, what do you say to this about us not complaining? Because even if you do tell them your concerns or you complain, you can see with the attitude changes. Like, you're not supposed to complain. When now you are like me.
No.
How dare
it's
you
not a platform. Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with what Sis Noni said. Number one, on the issue of being educated and the more you go out, the more you have different experiences, the more you start appreciating people and so forth. And as she said, we're gonna complain to my sister, my brother, as in I didn't get this customer service here. It's because that's what we were taught. We don't complain, we just have to accept. We became accepting of the way we are treated. But if who treats us this way, we say something about it. So I think it really has to boil down to people being treated in a very unfair way, to say we have to end it. Our kids are not going to continue in this type of culture that we've accepted. It needs to change. So, I agree 100% with what Sis Noni said. It has to take us. And when I go to a restaurant and somebody treats me that way, I have to be able to say, as in, stand up to them, go to management and also report that. But management as well also needs to take it upon themselves to take those complaints very seriously, because sometimes you can take the complaints to the management, but they do nothing about it. So everyone that you get in contact with, whoever, even if sometimes even those numbers, SAPS, those numbers are there to say, if you're not satisfied with our service, call this number and we're going to deal with it. But nothing is ever done. So I think the more we get treated this way, we're like, well, that's just the way it's going to go, So we leave it at that.
That is so sad. As is known, so I just want you to share your experience of customer service in South Africa. Hello, especially with South African embassies abroad, as well as in South Africa itself. Hello and welcome to the stream.
Hi, Sanibonani. I'm sorry I'm late. Angikho nakwami. As you can see, there's someone behind me. It's my daughter. Where's this Nwele? So I'm at the place. Oh, I'm so sorry. I missed the beginning of the whole scenario. Okay, talking about e-customer service. Oh my goodness, where do I start? Guys, where do I start? Niyazi nje ukuthi kunjani ekhaya. Ekhaya kuyabheda abantu. Like I said last time, abantu basekhaya, they even bring their nasty customer service to the UK. For instance, embassy, South African embassy, it's bad. And I think now, you need to bribe them to do something for you, which is ridiculous, honestly. It's just ridiculous. So, hey, I don't know where to start. When it comes to the supermarkets, South Africa, wow. Home affairs ekhaya, hospitals ekhaya, it's just appalling. And as soon as you try to mention it, guys, can you please change your attitude? Nisipe. Some of them you even ask, Anitoli training for a customer service. They'll just look at you. But some that are clever, they retreat from behavior yabo. And then I remember a friend of mine, there was a problem with a microwave. And then she returned it to the shop. So the person who was gule counter yama returned goods, so being from England herself, she asked this woman, i-customer service yakho ithini, ithi i-customer kufanele izithathele into eliyozibekela yona, or there are people who are employed to do that. So lucky enough, there was another one who was listening. What, guys, you might be in trouble. Let's do the right thing. Kusho ukuthi bayayazi. Some of them do get the training, but because of the attitude yabo, but they just continue, and knowing kahle ukuthi abantu basekhaya, most of them don't know their rights. They do anything. And the other thing, i-customer service yasekhaya i-bad ngendlela yokuthi the problem with the people who are maybe like managers, it's difficult for them ukuthi ba-discipline the people who are working in the same department, because as soon as you go and complain, it's not necessarily reporting, it's just complaining ukuthi I asked umuntu othile, or the service was not good. The poor manager can't do anything because usaban uzophuma mayiphuma emnyango kuvalwa eshop uselindele uzoshaywa, or anything can happen to her house or to her car or anything. So it's just a vicious cycle. Nothing is coming okay. Everybody's tshela ukuthi ngizoyenza the way ngifuna ngakhona. Even the poor security guards, ma ebona umuntu eba estolo akakhoni nokuthi amreprimande, because usabani bazomlandela bafuna ukwazi ukuthi uhlalaphi, and they are going to deal with that person, unfortunately. So i-customer service, mina ngicabanga ukuthi I don't know whether it will work if maybe people maybe from home bake bathathwe balethwe maybe in groups in countries like maybe like the UK. I'm not saying customer service are like good kangako, but I think it's better. It's better because you do get what you want, and if you complain, your complaint is taken into consideration. So I think if they can be taken in groups, beze bazothola i-training ukuthi bazi ukuthi this is how we treat customers, maybe it might work. I'm not sure, but I think i-attitude embi oyenza ukuthi abantu ekhaya babe ne-bad customer service, it's within thina ubuthina sinjalo nje. Sine-belief yokuthi I'm behind the counter, so you are not going to do anything. You are not going to do anything. Mangithi, this is how you do things. That's how you do things. It's like a friend of mine had an experience yokuthi ube thumele imoto ekhaya from this side. So magathumele imoto ekhaya, I can't remember what they were looking for. So magaba, when she disputed it, kumabe mtshela ukuthi it's either you do it or you don't. So she didn't have an option. Ubefanele ayenze that thing. So customer service, I've come across a lot of negative customer service, police station, hospital, home affairs, shops, supermarkets, everywhere. It's just bad. It's really, really bad. So guys, I don't know ukuthi nina nizana liphi icebo. What can we do to help people from home ukuthi bazi nge-customer service? Because if you start telling them, the first thing they are going to say bazokutshela ukuthi uzenza ngcono ngoba naku sowubuye UK. It's so difficult. So that's my view about the customer service yasekhaya. It's just bad. Iyabheda ngesintu. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you so much for sharing that. And if you do run a business in South Africa and you are watching this, or you have a friend or family member who runs a business, please tell them good customer service is very good. The money they spend on advertising could be saved with just a smile. If you give me good customer service, you don't need to advertise to me. I will come back. I will be your advertiser. I will be your billboard, because I will tell everyone to go and get their services from you because of good customer service. Hey, kwaze kwanzima. Let me see ukuthi uthini uDurban Dlamini. Uthi mina ngiyacomplaina too much noma ikuphi. uma ngibona oku-wrong angithulu, especially laba ababa busy with cell phones instead of serving people, ngiyakhuluma strong. We need more people like you, because sometimes we have this guilt of feeling like ngizoxoshisa umuntu wasekhaya. I will make a family starve when we complain. And they do talk to each other. And you can tell I'm annoying these people. I'm here to disturb them because they are still discussing what happened last night. Mina-ke nje ngithi uma ngifika nje bathi, hey, animsize nangazenze ngathi amavidiyo.
Okay, just to add on that, you know, it's even worse with a nurse using a mobile phone, SM7, right in front of a patient. How can you use okokuqala nje, if mobile phone yakho ayifanelanga ibe kuwe because usemsebenzini? So mina, I even commented to one post-days Tom bebeshutile in the department where they were working at. Wow, you even have the chance to take pictures and his poster nisebenza nini. But no, asiko busy. The answer was that asiko busy. But that is not the reason for you to use a phone, especially in front of patients. You know, when I went back to South Africa, mabeng sebenza in one of the hospitals, they used to uthola umuntu, there's a patient in front of her, uyalisiza, iphone iyaringa. Uzabe pendula phone. So I used to ask them, why do you use a phone next to the patient? It's very rude. You are not supposed to do that. A patient really has a phone and they respect that, but you don't have to use your phone pam patient. It's not allowed. It's very unprofessional because professionalism, but they are not practicing it. Bakhuluma nge-professionalism, but they are not practicing it. Using a phone, uthola nje umuntu esikhwameni sakhe unenkunzi malanga ifoni.
I don't know what's happening, but you are breaking, Sis Nomsa, quite bad. You are breaking quite bad. We are having difficulty hearing you. But guys, says Valanje, can we please tell them what is the true cost of customer service in a country like South Africa? How does it affect not just the business, but the country at large? The true cost of customer service versus sibanika ne-advice yokuthi how can we flatten the curve njengoba sikulento nje yembica abadala ye-COVID-19 esibhubhise abantu umhlaba wonke. Cela ukuqala ngawe Sisinoni.
Okay, T. Okay, thanks for a nice show. Like Sisinoma uyakhuluma. I'm running a private practice, Mina. First thing, you respect your customers because I know that's where my bread is buttered. So even if you're employed, you paid to give a service to those people. So make sure that you respect your customers. Then that's where your bread is buttered. So now for us to be safe, let's stay at home. Make sure you follow the government rules. Stay home. Like I'm running my practice. I make sure that if I don't have any patient booked, I stay at home until I get a call. Then I leave my house. Then I make sure that stay away from crowds. Crowded areas are a no. Because that's where there's a lot of these transformation things. But we had a nice show. Thanks very much.
So much. Thank you so much. Cindy Siwe, what can you say to us about the true cost of that customer service to your business as well as to the country at large? And what can we do to flatten the curve kulento esibhekene nayo ye-COVID-19? Thank you.
To the country at large, it's really going to cost us generations, Bagiti. So I really hope Uguba we can nip this in the bud. I think business owners, even the government, they should look at policy changes. They should look at how we can get some type of education as to the importance of customer service. And I think for those of us who've lived outside of South Africa, we understand that the customer is always right, even though we don't sometimes customer or wrong. But mangphuma kuleso stolo and I've gotten the right service, I want to go back. If I'm at that restaurant and I get the right service, I want to go back to sustain that restaurant. And if I'm going back, it means people remain employed, people remain paid, their bread is buttered. And as a country, people will talk very highly of South Africa. You know, if the customer service is bad from Konawa immigration at the airport, at the very port of entry, people will not want to go to South Africa. And when it comes to COVID, may we please take this thing seriously. It's no longer about numbers of people in the world that are contracting the virus, but it's now names of people that we love, people that we know, our friends, our families that are contracting the virus and that are dying. So please stay vigilant. Nifaka mask bagwethu nikeza izandla, and as Sis Noni said, avoid public places. If you don't have to go anywhere, don't do it. And ngiyazi ukuba we are very singabantu nje abakhululekile, we like to make jokes about things. We can joke around about COVID, but go figure isikhathi sokuba we should really take this thing very seriously and educate one another. You know, joke about it, but stay educated and take care of yourselves.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you so much, Sis Noni. Sis Nomsa, what can you say about the cost of bad customer service to the business and as well as to the country? And what advice can you give us in the COVID-19, especially as numbers are rising at an alarming rate?
Njengoba bese ngishilo, i-customer service is very important. Even without ukuthi uthole into oyifunayo, but mawuthole i-customer service good, you are bound to go back to that place. And ibhizinisi lakho as a business owner liyazakha, because lo muntu uzohamba ayotshela abanye ukuthi hey, service yalapha igood, I wish I could go there. And I would advise people who have got businesses, especially like shops, don't put your kids at like bathengise, because there's one thing that I've noticed, izingane ingane ezinamashop emakhaya, they banale ngqondo yokuthi they own people. Abantu bazocela. They treat people as if bazocela. They don't treat people as if bazothenga. You go, they don't greet you. You greet them. They just respond in that way. And they've got a tendency, emashop amaningi, especially elokishini, angeke umuntu akubingelela athi ngakusiza ngani. Into azoyisho uzothi ufunani. You are not awufuni, uzothenga. So mina isikhathi esiningi mangiyothenga ngifike ngibingelele ngicele, bayangazi mina in my area ukuthi mangingena, they know ukuthi I greet and they greet back, and then I say ngicela, and then I buy whatever. So ingane isikhathi esiningi ziyayimosha ibhizinisi nge-attitude. Abomama abanamashop, they are not, most of the time they are not nice people to customers. Treat abantu as if abantu abazocela. They are not, and those people are paying them, because if labo bantu bengeke bezokuzothenga, then your business can go down. So they are not aware, so they need to change their attitude. And ngize kulento yokuba safe. People, we are hammering it. There are videos ezivelayo ezingithusayo mina. I just saw a video that was posted about people at the funeral. They are dancing. I don't know whose funeral is that. They are just dancing, no masks, no social distancing. I don't know when are people going to learn. But minage, welami iside, I'm hammering it to my family ekhaya. I tell them, stay home. Akukho ukuthi uzovakashela bani, akukho ukuthi ubani uyakuvakashela. Stay home, go out for something ebalulekile, not for fun, and make sure that you wear your mask. And I even told my younger brother ukuthi izingane zakho, they can rather repeat next year. don't let them go to school, because this is the worst time. COVID-19, it's going to kill people if they don't adhere to umthetho. And doesn't need isotsha ukuthi lizokutshela ukuthi hlala ekhaya. Hlala ekhaya, stay home and be safe, and to live long. Siyabonga.
Thank you so much, my beautiful ladies. Thank you, guys. If you work in customer service, it is your duty to make sure you treat the customers right, because without the customers, there is no business. Without the business, you do not have the job. And people who work in places such as Home Affairs or the embassies, you must know, Uguti, you are ruining people's lives by this attitude. Some people have not been able to bury their own children or parents because of your attitude. And also you must know that some people have found themselves in criminal situations where they have overstayed in countries, not by intention, but because of the lack of customer service on your side. So please, guys, let us make sure we treat people accordingly. Nurses, your bad customer service can affect and even kill straight away. You might not take but your customer service, and also it can cause a lot of depression when you go to places and you see nurses saying things like, someone might end up not getting out of up a bench to go and collect their medication because bayasaba. Do not judge people. If a 12-year-old comes for contraception, it's not your duty to say, so many people have lost izingane emaleba ward, not because ingane was going to die, but because of a customer service. Some patients umuntu aziphalazele unesi angamsizi. Maphoyisa, you must know ukuthi you are the number one. If kuleka nina, then we are not safe as a country. Ubugebengu bunjena nje South Africa, every country nobugebengu balo, but ekhaya bubhebhetheke kakhulu ngoba nithatha ama-bribe. How can somebody's life be worth 50 rand? If you see a drunk driver, the minute you take that 100 rand, umehamba, and then 10 minutes later, ushayisa umuntu uyashona, know that blood is in your hands. That blood is absolutely on your hands, because there is a reason why you should stop drunk people from driving. And in my restaurants, we are also worthy of getting the best seats and the best customer service, regardless of our skin color. Taxi drivers, whether Uber, Taxify, because even Uber, the way sometimes they treat us, you're like, sometimes they shout at us for sitting at the back. So I am a customer as well, just like umlungu. Why must I sit next to you? Like, guys, Nangu Usis Nomsa wants to say one more thing.
Yeah, just one final thing. There's one department that we are forgetting that is known to have the worst customer service. That is our airport, South African airport, OR Tambo especially. There was, Trevor Noah, because he is a comedian. There is somewhere like kuluma customer service yasekhaya ukuthi uthola umuntu useva umuntu uyahlafuna and then from there uyahlafuna maqeda uyabuzwa iorder yakhe ufuna amagwinya mangaki. Oh mina na wami wafaka umangola uyayibona into enjalo ngaleso sikhathi they are serving customers. I've seen mangifike ekhaya mina I'm one person othanda ukujoke mangehla ekhaya ngiphuma endizeni most of the time angazi noma ngenabona there are people who are standing outside angazi noma basuke belinde abantu abanida ukusizwa from mawuphuma nje endizeni before you go the other side your collector izinto zakho. There are those people. I always try to be nice to them and I always make jokes ngithi kubo sanibonani ninjani ngisasazi mina isiZulu ngikhumbule ekhaya. Some of them respond with a smile, but some of them will just look at me in that look eshoyo ukuthi wazosidina lo uyayibona leyo nto. And kufana namase niya ku-passport control. Wow, that is the worst. I-passport control is the worst. Labo bantu labo abanasikhathi. Uyazi umuntu uthi nimile avela suka athi ngisaye lunchini mina. akanandaba ukuthi nimile la nilinde ukuthi nidlule ku-passport control because yena isikhathi sakhe se-lunch uzobe etshela ama-colleagues akhe, oyi ngisaye elantshini anginaso leso sikhathi mina sokulinda sokuthi ngisevane nabantu. Can you imagine? And they've got a nerve to say it so loud, sibezwa. So i-customer service yase-airport nayo, it's appalling. So that's another department esikhohliwe. It's really appalling. Ngiyabonga.
But thank you so much, Sis Nomsa, for pointing that out. That is so true. South African airport services requires isho yayo on its own because the attitude yakhona. Hey! Hey! And sometimes we are like, but you know, like those people who stand with boards saying they're here to collect Mrs. Van Wyk or taxi. And they will tell you, sometimes they will even make an announcement, so to be careful. Just because people are wearing uniform doesn't mean they work here. Like, you know, why are you allowing them to do it? You know, why ni allow? And then they talk about other customers in front of you. Now, in front of you. They don't even know if you know that customer or whatever. Like guys, you know, we're scared. Let us not forget at the hairdresser's place, Emma Saloon. They take out food and eat while they're doing your hair. Sometimes the food smells so horrible. They will eat. Oh, munda fike salon ubelethe ingane. Uyakuluka la. Guys, if you work in a salon, wash your hands, number one. Number two, make sure that you have a bath, wash your cake. Because cutting ngihleli phansi wena umile ikhekhe lakho lila. So guys, let us be very thoughtful of izinto esizenzayo. Ngoba ngeke ngempela. Akufanele umuntu noma engibone ethi wamuhle ekhanda sindathi usini nje. Hayi ngenziwe uThenjiwe kodwa ungalingi uye khona. Akufanele umuntu uma advertise service yakho at your own risk.
Usakhuluma ngama-salon Thenjiwe. Uyazi ngeke ngabona umehluko omkhulu. I was really disappointed because lapha e-mall yala ngihlala ngakhona there's a salon owned by Nigerians. Oh, they are Ghanaians. Ndodakazi naye corrected because mina ngiyabafanisa phela. It's owned by Ghanaians. Wow. Is customer service yakhona, it's the best. It's the best. Uyazi uthi ungena, somebody welcomes you from emnyango. They've got a host who will usher you inside, akubingelele, akuwelcome, akubuze ukuthi uzokwenzani, and then show you the album or whatever ozoyenza. Like for instance, makuwukuthi uzoqhina, ukunika i-album ukuthi nayi album yethu, you can choose the styles. Mawuso ready, come to us. Go to isalon yabantu bakithi. Oh my goodness. Kula uthola khona nomgosi. Baxoxa ngosibanibani. Umbonile usibanibani. Wenze lokhu nalokhu. Mawufuna ukuzwa izindaba, iya ema-salon asekhaya. They don't care. They don't care for you. Ukuthi they don't even know you. Sometimes uzokhuluma kanti ukhuluma ngomuntu omaziyo. Or maybe ukhuluma one of your family members. They just talk. It's really disgusting. It's disgusting. Thank you.
What worse is sometimes it borders to bullying rather than just bad customer service. Because sometimes you go to do your hair, relaxing, and the way they don't it's like, why can't I choose uthi ngifunani? It's okay to advise us what to do. Even sometimes when you go to a restaurant, you order, and they will tell you, like, I know what I'm ordering. How sekufika chicken and chips? Why am I paying 200 rand for chicken and chips? I could have gone to a chicken franchise. Like they decide for us. Sometimes as soon as you get in, like guys, sometimes they are bullying us. Good, and we need to appreciate them, especially during this time as they work under pressure and they are really doing their best. We need them to be there for us and we need to pray for them. But we cannot take away the fact that some of the nurses really do have an attitude. Abanye bayathetha ngempela ngakamfica omunye ethethe isidumbu sesifile ethi usilethele lunch. Wathi MKs manje nje ubushona nje la lunch izodliwa uba uzukushona kungakayidli lunch uzongidlela le lunch bese uyashona. Thank you so much, guys. Please don't forget ukuthi we are still getting high numbers in the rise of COVID-19. Don't forget to wear your mask. Wear your mask and be safe at all times. You can also still be rocking your mask and still be looking stylish. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. I shall see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. when we will be doing Judge Kambule live. Thank you.
Please
Bye.
subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. Subscription is free.